Hello everyone, my name is Grace and welcome to another episode of Vitality Health Features. Today I'll be chatting with a very talented and dynamic opera baritone singer. He used to be a lawyer, but the love for opera has redefined him and he answers his calling as a musician. He's also engaged with well-known opera houses, the National Kaohsiung Center for the Arts, Wei Wu Ying, Academia Philharmonica de Verona, Singapore Lyric Opera, just to name a few. With his awesome talent and passion, he also curated Singapore's first Don Pasquale in Singapore, which was rated as one of Singapore's best classical concerts of 2019. He's none other than Martin Ng. So without further ado, let's welcome Martin on board. Welcome, Martin. Thank
Hello.
you. Martin, can you give us a brief history of how you got started with music and what led you to opera music?
Oh, from young, I really loved singing a lot. So when I was like very young, like 4, 5 years old, I was always singing songs, television theme songs, and so from young, I already started singing. And then my family sent me for organ lessons, piano lessons. So I've been exposed to music from a very young age. But opera only came towards like I think my JC time. And then during that time, there was still Channel 12. Now no more, but there was still. And it was a channel that was dedicated to arts, music, and that was so fantastic because you could, tune in and watch ballet, symphonic orchestra, opera, and that was when I was exposed to opera. And also during my JC, my secondary school years, there was shops like HMV, Tower Records, which are now totally like obsolete. So what I heard on television, I could actually like hear on CDs and also radio and everything. And so that was how I was exposed to opera music.
Why do you choose the genre of classical music?
Actually, at that time, at my age, I was exposed to different genres of music, and I liked all of them. But I do remember there was one occasion whereby I bought a CD of an opera CD, and then I realized that the music sort of like got to me and touched my heart more than the different kinds of music, and that really made me very curious. And I was so shocked. How come such music like that can have such a profound impact on me? And that was when I started my journey of exploration of that genre.
Because really it's the piece. Just first opera that really captured my heart was La Boheme. Is it
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Some profound effect. Yeah, and I heard it, I just felt, I don't know, like, wow.
It has a kind of like, it touched it's like it touched a chord in you, and you sort of like drawn into its magic. It's a magical effect on you. That's the kind of, it's quite difficult to describe lah. But I mean, I'm trying my best to describe it. And that was how it felt, how it was for me lah.
Yeah, although you were exposed to opera music, and then you of course you still went through your studies, and then chose a career which is like iron rice bowl.
Yeah. Yeah. Parents of of people of my generation, at that time they were still rather conservative, and they really saw things. They saw their path for the children, that these are the certain paths that that would sort of like guarantee you a kind of security in life. And I have to say that times have changed a bit, and parents now are more open-minded, and they can see that there are lots of paths, career paths that their children can take, and I think they are so much more fortunate than us. It took me 2 years, and then I decided that I had to make a decision whether I wanted to continue doing this as a hobby or to pursue it seriously. And then I told myself, you must live life without regrets, right? So you must just really go and try. So at the time when I left for Italy, I didn't really think that I wanted to pursue this as a career. I just wanted to go for further studies, just like taking a sabbatical, go for 1 year or 2 years, do a kind of like, private studies with a teacher. And then the whole thing just like snowballed. You go there, you study Italian, then after you entered the school, and then you just keep studying, then you graduated. And then after that, people offer you professional engagements, and then from then on, you just no turning back.
Yeah, no turning back, because you're like totally immersed in that place, the culture and the music. Which part of Italy? Can you tell me more about that part of your life?
I applied to enroll myself in the Conservatory of Verona, the Conservatory of Music, State Conservatory. And this was a course. It's actually quite a long course. Actually, it's in theory it's 5 years, but you got to do a preparatory year, and then you sometimes, if you felt that you wanted to have study more of the teacher, you could discuss the option of repeating one more year. So in the end, I think I took about 6 years to finish it. Yeah, more or less the people take about 5 6 years. I have to sort of introduce the kind of like tertiary education mentality in Italy, because a lot of people, it's a rather flexible kind of mentality in Italy, when people go to university, for example, when we do university in Singapore, we, like for example, when I did NUS, it's a 4-year degree course. So you do it and then you complete it within 4 years. Whereas the mentality in Italy is sort of like, you can take the exams whenever you want and whenever you feel like it. So people, there's no restriction, and some people actually take years and years and years before you graduate. And I think this is not a very good system. It's not very good for the student. I believe it's not very good for the students, because it breeds a kind of like lazy mentality. But I think it's different, because music requires a lot of immersion and exposure. So you can't really learn art in with a specific deadline. So I think it works in the opposite direction for music. When you actually, if the teacher feels that you need to be more exposed, and learning opera is, to a certain extent, it's also different from learning other instruments, because opera is musical drama. So it's music plus drama. And when you have drama, you have poetry. And when you have poetry, you have culture. So you're immersed, the more you're immersed in the culture, like Italian culture, the more you can contribute to the music you're interpreting. So I don't regret that I spent many, many years in Italy pursuing my studies. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So that means by that time you can also cook a lot of Italian dishes, because immersed. Immersed already.
The only food that I can stand out when I'm cooking is Italian. I can't cook anything else.
So funny. Okay. Pursuing your music abroad away from Singapore, what challenges did you face?
When you choose a country like Italy, you realize that you are in for a difficult time, because first of all, it's language. Because people there, I chose Verona, so it's not a big city like Milan, where a lot of Italians also speak English. But even then, you cannot be compared to places like Germany or Scandinavia or the Netherlands. So one of the huge obstacles is being able to communicate to people in language. So it was very, very difficult in the beginning years to make yourself being understood. And then also the culture, work culture, mentality, everything is completely different from, first of all, Italy is a Mediterranean country. So it's different from the Anglo-Saxon kind of culture, which to a certain extent has influenced Singapore culture, because we have a British influence in our culture. But although it is still European, but Italian culture is Mediterranean, so it's another completely different culture. So it's adapting yourself to different values, different principles, different language. So it's not easy. They require you to have an upper intermediate level of the language. So this is a requirement which is in all countries in Europe. So France, Germany, Italy, anywhere. If you want to study music in a musical institution there, you have to fulfill the language requirement before you're even qualified to take the entrance exam, admissions.
Okay. It means you're very fluent in Italian as well, I presume?
I'm quite fluent lah. I'm good. No
nice.
major issues, to be honest. Maybe just wanting to be slimmer. Because the concept of a well-balanced diet is more or less conditioned by my job requirements. Because in order to be an opera singer, you really need to be fit and healthy. And so this more or less has conditioned me to actually strive towards a more healthy living kind of lifestyle. So maybe before I was opera singer, I was kind of like overweight a bit, but I don't really like to eat a balanced diet and exercise not very regularly. So my health issues were probably due to the fact of my lack of exercise or lack of a balanced diet.
That's interesting, because you have to perform and you need a lot of stamina. And so you have to be fit in order to project your voice
as far
like
as exercise is concerned, it's mostly cardio, so maybe jogging and swimming, and maybe some strength exercises. But but that is not the major emphasis. Yeah. Whereas for food, because sometimes when you're overseas and then they don't give you if you're not in a kind of like apartment where you don't have a key, then you are more or less forced to eat out. So in that case, I tend to avoid heavy stuff like oily, deep fried, or difficult to digest. And I think this part, right, is you have to know your body best, because it, like, for example, for people who are lactose intolerant, then they cannot drink milk, then you have like digestive problems, the kind of thing. You have to know your body in order to know what food to avoid and what food would cause problems in digestion. Because when you sing, you really got to have a full flexibility of your diaphragm. And then if like you cannot digest, then your stomach, then you cannot use your diaphragm, then it's not that's going to be a problem. So it's important. And so I tend to avoid like all these kind of foods, and then eat lots of fiber, like vegetables and fruit, so that I get the vitamins, and then I can have like a normal bowel movement.
Yes.
Yeah, so all these things you've got to take into consideration, and be well hydrated also. Teacher in Italy used to tell me that before a performance, you really drink a lot of water, because it helps to wash away the stuff that makes you nervous but keep the adrenaline.
Let's drink water. Yeah.
So I drink a lot of water as well.
Okay. Is it true that you must drink more like warm water rather than cold water, because you have to keep this warm?
I won't drink anything with ice or cold, because it might sort of like cause your vocal cords to constrict, so it cannot be as flexible. Sometimes you cannot have easy access to like warm water. So I suppose warm to room temperature is fine.
Okay.
Long enough in the profession, you will know what kind of food you eat already. You can know what to avoid.
Yeah.
Because when you get flatulence, and sometimes I do get, because sometimes when you're overseas and you really don't know what they put inside. Maybe it's some kind of like soy sauce or some kind of spice, and you really don't know, because you cannot like ask the cook, hey, what you put inside, So you also got to be prepared for this kind of scenario. So I always bring my enzymes to digest.
Yes, correct. Digestive enzymes.
Yeah.
Oh, so you really take care of yourself. That's very good.
I try because you are so obsessed with being in tip-top condition. You tend to be a bit of a hypochondriac, as in like you just get obsessed with catching a cold or with being, and then sometimes maybe you just got to, or as much as it is important to be in a good state of health, but sometimes you also got to be relaxed, because when you're relaxed, then you can perform better. So I suppose you can consider that an occupational hazard.
Yeah, I think yes, of course, because it's like you already booked the dates for the performance, and then you don't want to disappoint your fans. I mean, people who have already bought the tickets to watch you, and if you are the star singer, you have to be there. Yeah. So in a way, quite stressful. Yeah, quite stressful. So can I ask you, how do you prepare yourself physically and mentally before each performance?
Physically, you just have to be very relaxed and have a good night's rest. Sometimes it's difficult. It's difficult for me because sometimes I have sleep issues. So the first few years of performance was just terrible because I just couldn't sleep. And that's very bad, because if you don't have enough sleep, it affects your performance. And it can be really terrible to be able to sing a performance where you have insufficient sleep. So I try, for example, if in the hotel there is a long bath, I can fill it with the long bath, and then maybe put some bath salts to relax the muscle. That will help you get enough rest. So getting enough rest is very, very important to prepare for a performance, and getting enough sleep. And a moderate amount of exercise is the night before the performance is also useful. Not too strenuous, because you don't want to tire the muscles out. Because being an opera singer, it's like an athlete.
Yes.
So your muscular system has got to be in tip-top condition when you do a performance. So some moderate exercise the day before is fine, but not too much. Yeah. And then basically it's just eating well, sleeping well, and then just being as relaxed as you can. So the day before performance, usually if it's a free day, I try to maybe just relax, go around the city, have a relaxed itinerary.
Okay.
Nothing too stressful. Yeah, yeah. And it's also a bit funny because I remember the night before an audition, I was in a hotel, and then I watched this movie which was had a lot of like macabre images, and then it affected your sleep. So avoid watching those kind of movies also if it affects
Okay, okay. Yeah, nothing too
your
gory. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, negative kind of. At the end of the day, when you go on the stage and then you tell yourself you're giving it your all, I think that's good enough. That's good enough. Your audience will appreciate you. So don't have to stress yourself.
Right, you just like sort of like, heck care, whatever it is, it is.
What is by far the most rewarding part of your musical career?
I think and have been so far quite lucky because I've been offered parts in roles in operas that I've always wanted to sing, and they have been offered to me, and I've sung them. So I'm just grateful to perform these roles on stage. So you could say that those were the highlights of my career. Yeah, and I'm still looking forward to getting more interesting parts. I just continue to maintain my instrument and continue to improve, and then need to be in tip-top position. So when the opportunity arises, you are ready to take it up.
So is there any particular role that resonates with you the most?
I think last year in Taiwan, they offered me the role of Scarpia in Tosca, which was a very, very the leading baritone role, and it was it's one of the dream roles for all baritones because the music's fantastic, and the role is complex, and it's every actor's dream to sing a role like that, and I got to sing it, so I was very lucky. Yeah. Another thing which was also very unexpected was this year in Kaohsiung, they asked me to sing a baritone solo for Britain's War Requiem, and this is like uh, uh, 20th century music, and it's in English. And I felt like a fish out of water because although English is my first language, singing this kind of repertoire is not usual, not my usual repertoire. But I learned so much because I had a very good conductor, and I had a very good director, and it was world class, and I learned so much. And then surprisingly, I discovered that I could also do this kind of music, and so for me, it was also a highlight. I think my teacher told me that having a healthy lifestyle, keeping the body fit, is actually the best advice I've received for my career, because you can have the best voice and you can have the best technique and everything, but if you don't have the physicality, you don't have a good health to actually sustain all this, your career would not be a long-lived one.
Very good advice.
In modern day lifestyle, different from like the past century where you didn't have all this access to modern technology, the lifestyle is completely different. People are actually, to a certain extent, healthier because they are not like cooped up in a certain space, glued to a computer 24/7. And so it sort of like makes them, whereas singing, you really need to be expensive. As a result, people are getting less in touch with their bodies because of modern technology. And that is counterproductive to singing, which is a very physical thing. Yeah.
Singing is one of the key to good health, because like what you say, when you sing, you are giving out, so you're always very open chest. When you open chest means you're also breathing in more. You have to breathe in order to sing and project your voice, and then you have to think about the diaphragm. So you're always exercising this part. Very good. Actually very good. Then the qi,
singing is like qigong, right?
Because you also must hold the air, and then you must slowly release it. You can a lot of work there, So I think singing is really, really very good. Thank you so much.
If I'm feeling a bit like low spirited, then there are certain comforts which I avail myself to, like having a good, nice, hearty meal, or maybe going to do like a spa. When I mean spa, I mean maybe if you have access to facilities like like a jacuzzi or a steam, just relax the muscles, or even if you don't, just fill your bath, put in some salts, and just relax. And also, if possible, now that, just like you mentioned it, go for a massage, just relax, and just keep your mind off those things that make you worry. Just keep your mind off it. Just find some distraction.
Okay.
Distraction. Yeah. Because the more you think of it, the more it will get you down, I think.
Yeah, right. Good. What does vitality health means to you?
So, good health is vital, it is important, and being healthy gives you vitality. So vitality means energy, and energy is so important to a singer. It's like it's connected to your body. So your energy levels is very important. You need to be able to have that vitality when you sing. That you need to find a way to bring up the energy level.
Yes.
And sometimes it is also helped by the audience. When you see a hall filled with people, automatically your energy levels go up. But just only an external factor. Internally, you must be able to know how to adjust yourself to bring yourself up to that level of energy in order to deliver to the audience a dramatically charged performance. And one thing which I remember is I always do before performance is stretching.
Yes.
Yeah, I stretch my body so my body becomes more flexible. Yeah, the muscles sometimes, like, you if you're in a computer the whole day, your muscles are all like cramped up.
Yeah.
So in the performance, because we are not so physical before, because of all this modern technology, everything is done for us. Nothing is everything is automatic.
Yes.
So we don't use our body so much anymore. So now with so you really, the singers today really have to take that one extra step to be more physical.
Yes.
Because everything is now done for us. Everything is all done by machines.
Yes.
So in order for you to be able to tune into your body, you've got to find a way. One way, of course, is to constantly maintain a good, regular exercise, keep the body in motion all the time. And then the muscles become, if you don't use them for a very long time, they become sort of like,
tight.
But then you must stretch them before performance. Yeah.
Good. Martin, could you leave us with an inspiring quote?
Yes. So I believe if you keep on trying and trying and trying, you eventually get there. It's because I feel that sometimes it's a matter of luck. But sometimes if luck finds you and if you're not prepared, then it still doesn't mean anything. So I believe that if you are good, eventually you just keep on trying and trying and trying. Eventually it will be your turn. Come to you. That's what I believe.
If you hang on long enough, that's what you wrote. If you hang on long enough, eventually it will reach your turn.
Yes. If you hang on long enough, it will eventually reach your turn. So just to persevere is very important. If you really believe in it, just persevere.
Yeah, that's very good. Because sometimes really it's the journey, right? Sometimes you're actually reaching there, but maybe that is like so tough, then you turn back. Actually going to reach there. So
sometimes.
Wow. Okay. I learned a lot from you, and thank you so much.
I'm just sharing some of my thoughts. Yeah.
You have a lot of experience as well and will inspire and also enrich others. So thank you so much for coming on board Vitality Health Features and sharing your journey, sharing your experience, what you learned, some tips. Thank you. Thank you. You have something on the 29th of September, correct? Can you tell us what?
Yeah. Yes. I will be streaming a live concert of opera arias. The name of the concert is called A Night at the Opera, an opera aria recital by Martin Ng. So in this concert, I will be singing a whole range of opera arias in the grand opera tradition for the baritone. So there will be starting from Mozart all to the bel canto, to Verdi, all the way to the Turismo. So it stretches over a period of 100 years of operatic, and it will be streamed on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
Okay, I'll look out for it.
So you can on my Instagram or a professional page or on my YouTube channel. You can they will be all streamed simultaneously. That concert.
Okay, looking forward to that. So thank you once again, Martin, for sharing your journey with us.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
See you again, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
What is vitality health for me? Health is vital, and good health leads to vitality. This is what vitality health means to me. Thank you, Vitality Health.